Agnes Kitumba is part of a growing group of Ugandan agripreneurs who are moving beyond subsistence farming and into structured market-oriented agriculture. And not just any market, we're talking beyond the Ugandan borders. She is the founder of Koko Agri Farms, an enterprise focused on cocoa production, aggregation, and export. So her work basically sits at the intersection of farming and trade.
My journey into the cocoa space is funny. I'm Agnes Kitumba, a mother of 7. I come from an agricultural family, just like many Ugandans. When we are drying it, we will have a moisture meter, which you'll be able to see.
Yeah.
That is the level we are shooting for. And those are some of the tools that our ordinary farmers lack that cause the food to mold.
Yeah.
And when I mean food in this case, I'm talking about the cocoa beans, yes. So the content level is very key so that it's not too dry or still having a lot of moisture that will lead to for the cocoa to decay.
After a few whispers about Agnes made their way to us, we figured it would be wise to meet this extraordinary lady and visit her farm. So tonight, we are on Koko Agri Farms, based in Mukono district, but with additional operations in Kampala, where the business handles storage and distribution. It's a brand new episode of NTV Seeds of Gold. I am your host, Sheila Navafu, and I am proudly brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries Limited and YPA for the expert opinion. I've introduced her. You get to meet her, a phenomenal woman in the cocoa corridor in Uganda, making her mark, and God knows, and God thank you, that she is flying the Ugandan flag beyond the borders. It is nice to have you on the show, Agnes.
Thank you.
Correction, Aggie. Well, she wants her name to be as cool as her crop, so I'm gonna go with Aggie.
That's true.
It is nice to finally have you on the show.
Thank you.
Have they told you we've been chasing you for quite some time?
Don't say the word chasing
because we've been trying to catch up. Girl, it is hard to explain it.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to have you on the show. You have something amazing going on. We've had a chance to steal a glimpse of what's going on. But what's your story? You know, people gotta know, what's your story? Why cocoa? And what's your story?
What's my story? Thank you for coming. And it's such a good time that you have come when you're celebrating 20 years.
Yeah.
So we get to be a part of the celebrations, you know. My journey into the cocoa space is funny. I'm Agnes Kitumba, a mother of 7 and an entrepreneur. I'm not lying. So my entrepreneur journey started in leather and textiles. And I was known as the leather girl, exporting to the US and globally. And being into the export market, there is a lot that I saw.
Yeah.
The more I exported the leather bags, the apparel, the jewelry, there was always this thing about the Ugandan agricultural products. Actually, we are really the pearl of Africa. Our soils produce the best agro products. And you could hear people talk about the best mangoes from Uganda, the best pineapples from Uganda. And for me, it didn't hit me that one day I would find myself in this space. However, I come from an agricultural family, just like many Ugandans. My father grows coffee and I grew up picking coffee. And coffee took me to school.
Yeah.
When I was in the international market, marketing Uganda for its best leather products, there was this common question of, can we get this? You know, you've been in the US market for 14 years. Can you get coffee for me? Can you get vanilla for me?
Yeah.
And for so many years, I would give the reference of my friends who were doing the business. Until 2020, when COVID came and it disrupted everything. By 2020, I had been in the leather industry for more than 10 years. So 2020, with the disruptions, for me, I call it my paradigm shift. It created something in me that was, okay, what else can Agnes do? What else can Uganda have me provide? And the search went on. By 2022, our business that was exporting billions of leather products into the US was starting to go down. Actually, our mother company, our US office, closed in Portland, and we stayed running.
Yeah.
But through the running, it was hard. People were shifting from buying very ethical fashion in the US. That mind kind of went away, and new brands that were producing fast fashion came in. And as a person who's used to making things by my hand, I was posed with the question, now what? And I remember on my Serbia trip to promoting crafts and leather bags and clothes, one of the buyers came to my store and they asked for 40 metric tons of cocoa. This is funny. I eat chocolates. I didn't put chocolates and cocoa on the same page. I didn't. So he asked for cocoa and I'm like, what's that? He says it comes from your country. And that night in my hotel room in Serbia, we had gone with the Pasaid team. I started reading about cocoa. I realized, I found out it was export number 4. And being an exporter, I was like, no way.
I should know.
It beats my leather products, So cocoa was checking off so many things in the industry that I was already in. And it's exportable.
Yeah.
That was the first light bulb that went off for me. It's number 4. My leather products are number 10. It was a quick sell in, a quick one that night I just wanted to get back on that flight from that trade show, that fair, and come back to Uganda and just start digging into this cocoa thing. Fast forward, of course, we are back. I start reading about it. My P5 notes came back in. Ghana, the largest producer of cocoa then, and now it's Ivory Coast.
Yes.
I did so many background studies and I got sold in. However, I also realized that there was so less known about what the Ugandan cocoa could do.
Yeah.
It's one of the best organic beans the world has ever tasted.
Yeah.
Ugandan cocoa beans. And to me, that was another thing that helped me now be ready and more than willing to take on this journey.
Yeah.
I went out to different friends and I went to Naro. They sent me to Nakori. Thank you so much. I met there 2 gentlemen, Job and Joseph. They held my hand. Then from there, they sent me to Mukono. I met there a man called Mr. Kawoya Fred. And all these people just kept giving me a lot of information about this crop. My pain as an exporter was, if this is so good, why didn't I know about it? I used to do trade fairs on the international scene, and little was shared about this crop. Little was known. And my journey in taking it to the international market started from there, that it is so good. It makes some of the best chocolate, and it was not known.
At farm level, the operation includes approximately 10 acres of cocoa with over 4,500 trees, some of which have already begun fruiting. But the farm itself is only one part of the model. The business is deliberately structured around 3 core functions: growing, processing, and distributing cocoa and its products.
So I started Koko Agri farms, specifically into cocoa. Is our main crop, our flag crop, to make sure that people get to know when you eat that nice bar, it's coming from one of the equatorial countries called Uganda.
Well, now that you speak about Ghana and Ivory Coast, which, by the way, has surpassed Ghana now, and they are giving us up to they're giving the world up to 60% of the cocoa. Does it give Uganda a chance? Do we have? Is it possible? The way we have embraced the whole coffee craze.
Yes.
Is it possible for us to get to that point where we can surpass these 2 West African countries and take over the global scene like we've done with coffee?
Yeah, it's possible. Very much possible. 80% of the Ugandan land is arable. Just think of it. Like if my palm, imagine it very big, was Uganda, 80%
of it.
You can throw a button, we always joke, and shots grow. So if we have 80% of our land arable, we can surpass Ivory Coast. And we are talking about a crop that is not like sugarcane, that you have to deforestate. You don't have to intercrop. When we go around the farm, you'll be able to see we have matoke planted in cocoa. We have gonja planted in cocoa. We have beans planted within cocoa. So it is a cash crop that can let an ordinary smallholder farmer be able to grow food crop as well. So we have a huge chance to surpass the current big players if we really put our minds to it.
People are very afraid of these high value cash crops. You know what I mean? They want to know what are, chances of loss, what are the challenges that come with cocoa, and how can one mitigate them?
I think cocoa is just like any other plant. We just don't have to. People put its high end value to the initial stages, which they are totally different. It grows just like any other tree. It's a tropical tree that was picked in the Amazon. So that alone makes it very, very viable to grow in Uganda. I always equate cocoa to a woman. If you look after a woman very well, take good care of her, she'll be the best.
She'll look like you.
Exactly. So, so I always joke when we have farmer trainings that just make cocoa. And actually, when I was in Brazil, they have a tree, they call it Madri Cacao, which is mother of cocoa. So if you take a cocoa like a woman or a mother, it will grow. It just has its own requirements, just like any other crop. It needs shade. It's a tree that wants a lot of shade. This was a banana plantation. When we introduced cocoa, the banana provided shade. It wants a lot of water, so you will see we have irrigation. Thanks to our government, we have irrigation under the Maif project. So this quadrant is 4 acres, and they utilize the 10.
So every and this is harvested, pumped from underground.
We have a water source down that we are going to see, and the irrigation was part of a Maif project that we applied. We checked all the boxes and we benefited.
That's amazing.
Water is very
the
key.
government is even supporting you, so you might as well, guys, get into this whole cocoa thing.
Not really. So because of sufficient water, you can see what happens to a 2-year-old tree.
It looks good. It looks healthy.
It does.
So this was already there, or you guys had to make it yourself?
We had to make it. It was poorly done.
Quite an investment.
It costed me money, and the guys did it poorly. But luckily, the Mukono District Fisheries Department is coming in
to revise the whole system. And you have to keep harvesting, lest you make losses.
Yes, like once, especially during the peak season, we harvest every 2 weeks. So we try to grow our own vegetables. We are at the end of the eggplants, cabbages, nakati.
And all those tiny tomatoes?
No, the green vegetables, nakati, kale.
Really?
Yeah, but it's off season, so it brings out the little fruits. This is we call it our prayer altar, Bethel. So yeah, when you want some quiet time, meditation, you come and sit there.
Clean natural water.
Yes.
That pumps here. It is safer than any water with chlorine and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you pump.
So that is the control room where we have the solar panels, the pump, and then the water goes up.
So this pumps to the different tanks.
To the different tanks, And we have a stream that's behind the water pod that never dries up.
That's very sustainable.
Yes. So the cocoa garden goes across the water stream. We are trying to put up an orchard over there so that different fruits. Yeah.
I can already see some lemons, oranges.
Oranges, lemon, mangoes, passion, sour soup, different varieties. Those two things, and good agronomy practices. Some things like any other
weed.
Yes, you weed, you use a good agro inputs, and you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
So my takeaway thus far has been, hit the books, get the experts on your side. we need the agriculture officers, we need my youth on our side, we need Nakori and all. We're going to come back for more. Thus far, I have learned so much. I hope you have learned so much as well. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't forget that this show is proudly sponsored by Wukola Chemical Industries Limited and YPA for the expert opinion. Don't go away. Welcome back. I am glad that you're still with us. We are still with Aggie, and we are getting a lot of insight into cocoa. All of you that thought it was impossible, Aggie is changing our minds, people. She is changing our minds and telling us we can be wealthy. So speaking of we can grow it here, we have the land to grow it. We have the capacity. Steps. How does one make sure that I get what Aggie has? What are the steps from seed to the shelf? Because one of the things I have come to learn is these crops, if I want to get to that global market, I need to take very good care from the moment I get the seed and to the moment post-harvest handling, blah, blah, blah. So kindly guide us through the steps.
The steps are not very lucrative, like out of this space. Cocoa is a plant. Right now in Uganda, the babies, the seedlings, are got from good parent plants. And Nakori and Naro have certified people who are supposed to do the bedding for the seedlings. We too want to have a bed, but we know we have to go through the normal practices. So I urge everyone there who is ready to plant, please don't buy seedlings off the road, because not everybody is caring to know that this parent plant, will it give off good seedlings? So you have to know, am I buying from a very certified nursery bedder? That is very, very key. Why is it very key? It's because when you want to have a good offspring, you use a good parent plant. And it's going to take someone who has a very mature cocoa garden that has studied this tree, its resistance to climate, to pests, and its yield. How does it produce? And those can only be known by a person who has a very good mother garden. So it's very key to where you get your seedlings from. I've had people come over to our garden and say, I've planted, my trees are 5 years and they're still stunted. I've done everything, but nothing is coming out. Chances are high, when you were purchasing your seedlings, you did not get them from a certified person. Nakori has that list. Please make sure that the nursery bed you're getting your seedlings from is certified. That's very key. Then 2, there is a huge manual that takes you through how you're supposed to look after this cocoa plant. And just like I said in the introduction, it requires water and shade. But apart from that, you have to understand the soils. What soil type do you have? Is it very acidic? Does it have alkaline? Do you need nitrogen, potassium, nitrogen? What do you need to fix your soil so that it handles the cocoa plant? And that's where the agronomists come from. I'm not an agronomist, so we work with agronomists who come in and advise on what is needed. So, and this is for our dear farmers. We like cheating corners. It's very typical of us Ugandans. You see something good, you want to do it, then you hire the mason instead of the engineer. In cocoa, please don't do that. Get the agronomist. That's why parents are taking them to school. You know, go hire them. It can be weekly, monthly. You don't have to have a full-time agronomist. When we started out, all we did was to have him come twice a month, and he will look at our crops, help with the soil sampling and testing, and advise on what agro input to add in.
Yeah.
So it's very, very key that before you start, have an agronomy on site who is going to help you kickstart, make that checklist.
Yeah.
You know, before you take flight, you have the checklist of this is good, this is good, this is good, and that can only be an agronomist. Agnes is not going to give you that. So depending on what your agronomist has said your land has and lacks, he will give you the best advice on when to kick off. But for general knowledge, when we were planting, we used the rule of 10 by 10. When we were digging the holes, we put in the manure for 1 week, then we came back and planted. And we already had the banana plantation, but when I was planting, I was advised that between 3 to 4 years, the cocoa will outgrow the banana and they will go away. So whatever you're seeing used to be a very good banana plantation, but now it's giving away to the cocoa. And that's okay because the banana has created shade for the cocoa to grow. Yeah.
Okay. So we had talked about the spacing and agronomic practices. Now, after seeing this particular garden, it is more defined. One can actually see what exactly must or mustn't do.
Yeah.
You see a bit of spacing, you can't go wrong. People can actually see this.
Yeah.
But you did tell me that there are some changes that have come into the spacing. What was that?
So initially, an acre for cocoa has been taking about 450 trees. So in each 1 acre, we expect a farmer to do 450 trees with a spacing of 10 by 10. But we have new research where they are suggesting we do lesser crops into that 1 acre because probably the soils are tired, they want the plant not to fight for nutrients, and the last resort is for farmers, we farmers, to have better yields.
Of course.
But in this garden, particularly why we did the gonja close to the cocoa, it's a plant that wants shade. And because of that, this was plain land.
Yeah.
We didn't have initial trees like in other older gardens that you have seen. So we first introduced the gonja. We gave it 4 months to grow. And right next to it, like you are seeing, we introduced the cocoa seedling. So the cocoa seedling during the dry spells, it leverages on the banana sucker's moisture and even the shade. So you're able to see that this cocoa is young, it's a year old, but because it is harboring under the plantain, the shade, the sunshine doesn't hit it directly, it's growing much faster.
And still getting a bit of moisture in
exactly
there. So it thrives even during the dry season.
Yes.
You did mention, because I've seen the beans are thriving as well, and they're in there because they do help with
nitrogen fixing. So we do intercropping, and that's why it is a beautiful cash crop that you can have gonja for sale, you have the beans for food, or you sell off the surplus, and we still use our walkways to do pineapple. And I'm biased, I love pineapples. I
noticed 3/4 of your walkways have pineapples.
Exactly. Why plant flowers I'm not going to eat from? I beautify them with the pineapples.
They're not a problem at all.
No, they are not.
The other crops that we put inside, they together with the cocoa, they do not pose a single threat. Say, we of course have ascertained that with the bananas, they can help the cocoa with moisture and all. The beans, we don't have to worry about any other pests or nutrient issues and all that stuff. That's not an issue?
No, specifically with legumes, they fix the nitrogen.
True.
But we won't do the maize and the cocoa because they'll fight for the same nutrients, and then the maize also grows taller, so the pests that go to the maize, they go to the cocoa. So still it goes back to my point of always consulting your agronomy before you introduce something in your garden.
They know what's better.
Yes, exactly.
I hear you. How long does it take for you to start saying, you know what, we're going to harvest now and we're going to sell?
Yeah. So cocoa takes 2.5 to 3 years to yield. However, having done business for 10 years, when I came into the cocoa business, I didn't want to joke around. So for me, it was serious business as usual. And by 1 year and 8 months, our cocoa was fruiting. So our trees are actually 2 years.
And we already
harvesting.
Girl.
Yeah.
We're going to steal your agronomist. But then, so what varieties? Sometimes the variety does matter. So we might have the best bean, but what variety constitutes it to be the best?
Right now, according to Nakori, Uganda still has 2 varieties. And that's why it's still very organic. Our cocoa is still very organic. We are not like other countries, like Ecuador, Ivory Coast, India, name them.
So we are going to take a walk inside the farm and harvest as well.
Don't stuck without me. So today is harvesting day, and I'm glad you came. So we have 2 varieties like we've mentioned. So this is our forester variety, and it's very key when you're harvesting so that you don't damage the plant. Because the beauty with cocoa, where you harvest, it will reproduce from there again. So the ripe ones, the raw ones are this color, they're green. Once they start to yellow, that's when you know that they are ready to harvest. The red ones, for them we will harvest one the other side. They are the maroon, but when they start to yellow also, you know they are ready. Okay. So you hold, and then you
Clip.
one clip.
Okay. So am I harvesting her or her?
In.
I'm ready for this.
You can go for that one too. We have some over here. They are used to harvest. And as we harvest, I would like also to note that the beauty with cocoa, like I was explaining, that you can harvest it year in, year out. Apart from the 2 peak seasons, you see we are off season. Right now, throughout the country, we are off season. But we have harvested 5. That one is good to go as well.
Yes.
After 2 weeks, and you come back here
and harvest again.
Because you look at this, these are all fruits that are growing and ready to harvest. However, it's also fruiting and flowering, So these we just throw. In agriculture, they say it aborts.
Okay.
It gives off 6,000 leaves, but due to the fertility of the soil, the weather condition, it will only leave those that it can feed to maturity.
So what is, speaking of fertility of soil, what's the best fertilizer for cocoa?
Your agronomy has to let you know. But when it comes to the organic fertilizers, there is the cow dung, the pig, the goat, sheep, rabbit, but it still goes to what does your soil lack.
Feasibility studies in order.
Exactly. What does your soil lack, and that your agronomy has to tell you so that you know what to apply to your soil. Another key thing is for pruning. And this we learned from Nakori. Pruning is very key to cocoa. I was told this is the placenta. And that means that you have to let water and sunshine hit the tree very well. So you see, we have to leave the fruits to have enough light for them to be able to grow. We can harvest more. It's also we have 10 acres of cocoa, so it means I can harvest with you now. And then after 2 days or up to you can harvest more, and after a few minutes, someone will come in and harvest as well.
Some little more.
So here we have 4 to go. And let me see how my student did.
I'm doing well. So when the profits come in, just to send me a WhatsApp.
For sure, we have to go.
So if one is the way you harvest, would it affect the quality of what goes to the market, or it will just simply affect the tree itself?
It will affect the tree,
which in the long run affects the entire business.
Yes. So we don't want to damage the tree, because
you want it to keep giving more.
Peel of the stem goes off, that the cocoa plant can produce from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? For how long can a cocoa tree keep giving fruit?
It's a tree that they estimate between 50 to 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to
How you take care of
gardens. Yes, I've been to gardens that are 80 years. Recently, we had a cooperative meeting, and one of the farmers who's 58 said he has a tree that his grandfather planted, and they guess it's about 100 years. So,
He's 58.
exactly.
Are there certain, common pests and diseases that affect for and how can one get rid of them?
Once you realize that your garden is having an outbreak, it's very, very key to then now bring in your agronomy. Because just like human beings, trees are living things. And this is food. Right now, for us exporters, there's some banned chemicals.
Yeah.
Actually, the Ministry of Agriculture and Crop Life are organizing an event where they will sensitize farmers about the banned in chemicals that we can't use in our garden. Sometimes it's as simple as pruning.
Yeah.
If you can tell, we just pruned, and it's because we wrote an agronomist.
That's what it's saying.
Yeah, who was like, you have too many leaves. Why can't you come and why don't you take them off?
Yeah.
Oh, we've just landed on the maroon one. It's one of my favorites. I'll let you go for it. So you see, when it's still young, it's dark maroon. Once it starts to fruit,
It gets this shade.
yeah. Once it
It's
starts
a gradient.
ripen. Good. You're a pro. You need to
I'm
start
waiting for that WhatsApp on sale.
That's good. Do you have some? Okay. We have different types. I keep mentioning the green and the maroon.
In the maroon.
Yes.
Do remind me of the name. And you say there were only two right now in
So
Uganda?
this one is the cereal,
Yeah.
the orange, the maroon one,
Yeah.
and then the green one is the forester. But Nakori is working so hard to make sure that different varieties, weather resistant, are bottom. And I think they are about to reach a certain stage. Yeah. So I think sometimes I feel like this is a mixed variety. Because you see how it has the green
A
and
little bit of it.
yes, it has the green and then the maroon. Yes.
We can see. But Nakori does have the habit of propagating as a variety that could work for different, say, regions.
Yeah.
What could work in,
Central
so it might not work in the north or might work in the Karamoja region. So you'll find that they take their time to make sure they get something, drought resistant or.
So when we're done with harvesting, we'll collect them in one central place in the garden, and then we cut. So that's what we are going to do, and then we'll go to the fermentation.
I want to see what happens in your cards.
Okay.
So when I see you have a lot going on, 10 acres, and then you have all
10
the
acres for
activity.
cocoa, 4 acres for cashew, and 5 acres for gonja.
Actually, interesting. So you, of course, have a number of farm homes helping out.
Yes, we do. We mainly work with women because women help in the cocoa value chain, but then end up earning less.
Very little, yes.
Exactly. Your hands are ready to cut or to just scoop up?
Ringgits.
So this is the most viable way to cut. They're going like this, but if you're not sure, you would rather go circular.
Sweetness, I'm not sure about anything. So do I just do this or do I hit it?
And it brings me to a point. One of the challenges in cocoa is splitting the beans during harvest.
Why are you doing this? So you decided to give me the knife and then tell me something scary.
Go for it.
Nelly, if you put this as a promo, I will end you.
Okay.
So then I just scoop it out.
Yes.
Is it? That's it. All around smells nice.
Yes.
Yes. So after this process, this is what goes for farming.
Yes. So you see what we were talking about? These are some of the challenges.
Yeah.
So these cut beans
Can't go
Yeah, we'll have to take them out. Yeah.
And
then when we are done harvesting, we usually bury these because we can't let them go in the garden.
Yeah.
Like they are over there because some might carry diseases.
That's
so
true.
we will bury them, they decay and act as fertilizers. Yeah, there is a possibility of making biochar from the pods.
Yeah.
So as we have said, there is a whole lot you can make from this tree. Yeah.
And there's more still being figured out.
Exactly.
It's time for me to make some money. I've seen a number of flowers already coming up. How long does it take it to become fruit?
So from this little flower to the final ripe one, it takes 6 months. But just like you can see, every 2 weeks we can be harvesting. Like this one is ready to go, and every 2 weeks we'll come back, and then this one is ready
something.
to go. Yes.
Cocoa production basic tips. Use good planting material. Poor seedlings can cause up to 100% yield loss. Good farming cannot fix bad planting material. So what to do? Use disease-tolerant, high-yielding varieties. Select healthy, vigorous seedlings. No diseased leaves. Transplant at 3 to 4 true leaves of cocoa. The tip? Apply Copamet to control diseases on seedlings and mature cocoa plants. Control pests and diseases. Pests and diseases can cause up to 80% yield loss. So what do? Prune regularly, remove diseased and unproductive branches. Remove pod/branches infected by disease or cocoa pod borer. Bury diseased materials at least 3 feet deep. Inspect fields regularly. Use Copamet to manage disease in cocoa. Best to start application at early onset of symptoms. Use organic pesticides like nimbecidine to control the cocoa pod borer. Integrated soil fertility management. Healthy soils equals healthy yields. Many soils are acidic and low in nutrients. What do? Dig trenches or ridges to control erosion and contain water. Plant cover crops, for example beans, that help fix nitrogen. Establish windbreaks, preferably fruit trees along the boundaries. Apply organic or inorganic fertilizers at least once a year. Apply sick bamboo biochar to improve soil structure, nutrient uptake from fertilizers in the soil, and moisture retention. Sick bamboo biochar increases the cocoa's resilience and boosts yields.
What we call a silage bank is constructed in manner that is not really easy to use, because when you can't walk into, if you have to jump into the silage bank, then that is not a silage bank. Why do we do this? When I was in Netherlands, people construct walls. They construct walls on the surface in this manner. But me, an African man who wants to use little money, what do? I just construct walls using a tractor, because at least I have a tractor, an excavator that can dig for me this, but it is a walkable slope that if I want to use a wheelbarrow, I can go. If I want to use a tractor, I can still, the tractor can easily move and bring silage up to this deepest end. it goes narrow, shadowing until, then it comes deepening until here. So this can keep up to 10,000 tons. 10,000 tons of silage. Why do we keep silage down here? Because we want to preserve it. Unlike hay, hay is kept in aerated space. That is what we call hay barn. But silage has to be kept against any piece of air. Even when we are putting it down here, of course we have to put a tarpaulin if we want to, but even if you put it down here, it will still be intact. People usually confuse you that if you don't put a tarpaulin, something is going to happen. There's nothing that is going to happen. Nothing is going, unless if your soil is maybe in a wetland, that water will come. But to be safe, always put a tarpaulin or something, or a polythene, a black polythene, so that even when water comes that side, but my soil is clay. So even when water comes that side, fix it. We compact it. After putting a tarpaulin or a polythene, we compact it so that we release all types of air, so that we can have a clean sort of silage. And silage is kept down. After putting our silage down, then we cover. Why do we cover? We don't want water. Water comes with air. You remember, water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. So all those are airs. So if that air comes, it happens to make what we call decomposition. Also, when we are keeping our silage, usually we need to keep our silage using, we should mix it with bran. This is a trick. This is a trick that most people don't know. They just chop. They just chop the silage and put here. But for me, what I do, I chop. After chop or crushing, then I mix with maize bran. So it comes here. When that maize bran gets intact with the silage and the little bit of water, by the time I harvest this silage, the concentration of nutrients has gone a little bit up. So this makes me yield more than someone who just kept, then harvest the silage and mix with bran. For me, I get silage straight from here. I give it 3 weeks. From here, I take straight to the what? To the goats' feedlots. So my goats are going to enjoy. Same thing with cows. Usually cows and goats differ on just a few things. Goats are browsers and cows are grazers. So it's just a small difference. But make sure when you're keeping your silage, keep it deep. Or if you have the capacity, build the walls with concrete, then seal the walls from rain and water and oxygen. But compact the silage, then after compacting, but before you compact, crush and mix with maize bran at a go. Then you store at once. When 3 weeks later, this silage is ready for harvesting. But it can live here for more than 3 years, even 5 years. Silage can be here and still intact. So don't just concentrate on hay. Silage is also important because this silage is made from broad leaves like maize, like Supernapia, or what you call elephant grass, and it really also adds value. Don't tell me that you have failed to do goat farming because you have small land. No. Just introduce storage facilities. You'll thank me later. Youth Platform Africa says goat farming is a living factory. Good evening.
So someone is taking notes, and the first bucket has given us 20 kgs. Also, the bean count per pod is very key for any farmer, so that you know how your plant is doing.
Sweetie.
Tito,
Guys, I'm on the floor. Anyway, it's been an honor. We got to plant a few trees now. It is quite symbolic. We're celebrating 20 years of NTV. We are with some of the people that support us the most. And we are also celebrating cocoa in Uganda and projecting that we're going to make it to the global stage sooner than later. And hey, we get to get the trees named after us.